We have a breaking update. A breaking update. This is coming from Light Reading. I'll leave a link to this in the description so you guys could check it out. So members, you've already been up to date on this. If you'd like to join the membership, a link to that will be in the description. But now we got articles, we got stuff coming out publicly. So now we can speculate a bit more, because up until it's officially announced, it's all speculation. I'll say this. Look forward to next Tuesday or Wednesday. That's the time frame of, again, this is unofficial, but that's the time frame of when this could be officially announced. Around next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Keep an eye out. AT&T may dump Nokia. You guys have heard me talk about this publicly a few weeks back. I made a different video for the members. So I'm very confident. I'm like 99.9% confident this will happen. I'm told this is huge cost savings. Better RAN in Nokia markets. You know, they're telling me, let's call it what it is. Ericsson has better equipment. So it's going to be better, you know, at least the rip and replace, right? There are some negative and there are some pros and cons here. But we'll discuss that in a video when this is actually publicly announced. We're going to need a lot of detail. It has to be in-depth detail as to how this is going to be approached. When is this going to start? How long is this going to take, right? Everyone is going to want to know those questions and answers. So this is going to be a big shift in the market. This would make Ericsson 100% share in the United States for AT&T. T-Mobile still has Nokia, but I will say this. They have been starting to swap over and rip and replace from Nokia to Ericsson in Georgia and Florida. And I think there was one other state that I might be forgetting. So T-Mobile has slowly, gradually been moving away from Nokia in some states. Now, the reason I wanted to point that out, because although it's not to the size and scale of what AT&T may do, but Florida and Georgia are still large states where you're doing an entire rip and replace from Nokia to Ericsson. So something happened, right? Something happened that caused T-Mobile to reach out and say, hey, look, we need to make an agreement. Ericsson said, no problem. And they ripped the entire state. We're not talking about a few cities, small towns. No, we're talking about an entire state. So Nokia has been losing ground in the United States, starting with Verizon, right? Let's not forget about that. They completely lost Verizon as a vendor. Verizon said, screw it, we're going with Samsung. And they started ripping and replacing, and they haven't looked back since. So it all makes sense. If you look at everything, if you look at what happened with Verizon, if you look at what's slowly happening with T-Mobile, right? We could start seeing a few more states little by little going to Ericsson. But it looks like AT&T is just, screw it, we're not even going to do state by state. We're just here. This is what we're going to do. Ericsson, you go rip and replace my Nokia markets, and that's how we're going to move forward. Now, the biggest issue that most had that I spoke with, right, from the pros and cons perspective, just briefly touching on that, they didn't mind ripping Nokia and going to Ericsson. The issue that some people had that I spoke with is Ericsson taking over the entire RAN, like the engineering, the planning, the everything, right? That's the issue that they had. They didn't mind Ericsson being a vendor in all markets as long as the AT&T engineers were able to stay. But the bigger rumor is that all of those local engineers, that they're going to be laid off, and then Ericsson is going to be running the RAN from a national perspective. So they're going to run it nationally, which many say is really a big con, because a lot of these local engineers, they have a very good feel of the market. They know, okay, we need sites here, we need C-RAN there. Ericsson won't have that same expertise for the local regions. They're going to look at that from a national perspective, and it's just going to be different. It's going to be a whole different feel. It might take Ericsson a few years to really gain perspective, like, oh, snap, we need sites here, we need sites there. Whereas the local teams now, they already have a good feel and likely already have a lot of this in the planning stages for, next year, the year after. So that's what I'm told is a big con. So we'll see what happens, right? Stay tuned for this. Stay tuned. Like I said, next week, keep an eye out Tuesday or Wednesday to see this, be official, materialize. But for right now, it's unofficial. It's all speculation. But the fact that it's now actually public from Light Reading, it's gaining traction. So leave all your comments in the comment section. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Peace.